So just as you take a look to finish this part up, you can go back into this. Has all the graphics on top of this layer. This layer is hidden and locked, but you can go through this section with the tool, and you can give this some of the three-dimensional quality with the gradients and stuff, so it kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility. And again, as you go through this sections with the gradient, you don't have to, but it just gives you a little bit of a look to it. And when all of these are changed, you can actually see with the gradient tool that you can move and adapt these or change these altogether with this section to move them up on the directional segment. So it gives you that option. Just wanted to share that part with you. When you go to this section with this layer, so you have a little bit of the graphic behind it, is to just remember you have this layer, it's locked and dimmed down, and it's trying to give you the best possible way to illustrate this. And what you want to do is think of it as a layer, or the way the layer is formed of the objects are fitting into it. So again, just using the pen tool is trying to get you situated with this, because this is going to be where it comes through, and it's a good finishing exercise when you take a look at these points that you're trying to curve to get this actual line in here. So it's making that shape. This is leaving it as a corner point. Now again, if you don't like that green color when you're working, you can click on it and give yourself a different color in here. Okay? So that gives you that piece. So when you take a look at these curves, you're trying to build this up. The space bar allows you to again change the point and then adjust the handles accordingly. So you're trying to establish that entire graphic. So as you come down this side, it's going to be kind of clicking and dragging with these points. And that's where you're going to end up. So you're trying to look at it as the overall outline of this shape. Clicking, kind of setting the curve, coming down to the chin, setting that. If it's too far, then back up a bit and add another point in between there. Like I said, you're trying to keep the least amount of points to make up this shape, and the space bar helps you adjust it and move it along as you're going, both moving the point while it's still active before you release the mouse. Otherwise you just have to edit it afterwards. But just kind of going right around this. Kind of brings it up into this curve. So again, taking a look at this overall section of the ear, seeing if I can connect it there. And it's too far, so I'm just going to undo it and break it down into its center point. And that gives you this outline. So you have to kind of imagine your own illustration. Here, the end. I can finish that part off. So I have this outside edge. Just go to 0. Click the Command key to get or the V key to go back to the selection tool. The eyedropper will let me click that color, but that's the main piece. Now you could open up the layer and see this, and that's the purple, so I could hide that just temporarily and keep it all within the same layer just as you're working to build that part up. So the next one is you're trying to say, well, you want to look at the white outline all the way around this and treat that as one big shape so that each successive shape will come on top of it. So it takes a little bit of illustrating here, but that's probably the easiest way to build this part up. If you zoom out of it, you can see it kind of goes around a little bit, but cuts off right here. So let's see if I can quickly put that in there. Now that I see this. And you can start it, and I'll come back with it so you don't have to hold you up. I'm just going to hit the delete D key in order to get that function coming back. So I'll just kind of wrap this around. So you're trying to break it down as far as how you could then illustrate it further. And again, you want to zoom in and make sure that you have that piece in there with the little curves right there. So I'm trying to look at just the white shape now. So it's a kind of an exercise in both positive and negative illustration. Here's a nice swoop right there. Command minus just so I can stay within the space bar here, or you can use the keystrokes for zooming in and out. So you're kind of building this part up so it's somewhat more complicated on the white shape when you see it. See how fast I can do it. So I'm clicking and dragging just to set it as a curved point. I'm trying to build that part up. So I'm not worried about the mouth at this point, just trying to get that shape. Like I said, kind of building that piece up there. Space bar again will help you set it in there. Comes all the way around. Carpal tunnel coming at me. Okay. So we'll give you a good rendition of it. Coming around, so it's going to be the entire white shape. But when you illustrate it, you want to kind of give it a color so you can see what's happening beneath it. Okay, and again, you can adjust these handles a little bit to fit that in there.
Interesting.
So I set that part in there. So now you want to see if you can, I'll give this a swatch color here. So remember down below, you can see default swatches and go to print and extend this out. So I'm going to shift key this part, I'll click off of it and drag these colors right up in here, the swatches panel. And now this allows me to give it a color, just so I can see it. And then in the layers panel, you have it all listed down in here. So when you open this up, I can bring that one in. So I have those two shapes. And now you want to look at the parts that are purple and try to illustrate those on the next segment here. So go ahead and try the exterior part and the white shape right there. And see if you can create those real quick to kind of do it together.